This video is brought to you by Craven's Comic Books and Collectibles. Check out their weekly live show, auction, and sale at facebook.com/cravenscomics every Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern. And you can check out their inventory at cravenscomics.com. Craven's Comics, for the comics you crave. Please welcome to the program, Romane Denis.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
You're looking a little bit sideways to us tonight.
Okay, hang on, because you're also looking sideways, but hang on. Oh, there we go.
Hey. There we go. We did it.
Okay.
Oh my God.
There we go.
So Roman, I just want to say before we get into talking about the film, after seeing the film, even if you take out the killer pair of pants, man, Libby had the worst first day. Like,
I know.
asshole after asshole at this new job.
I know. It's not what she was expecting, I'm sure.
No, totally. So tell people about what the film Slaxx is all about.
Well, Slaxx is about a pair of killer pants, yes, but more than that, it's essentially a social commentary on how far away we are from realizing exactly what the consequences of what we're doing with fast fashion and with for us it's so easy to say, oh, there's no GMOs, there's nothing, but we don't actually know what's going on. And so it's the revenge of this poor Indian girl who unfortunately dies because of horrible working conditions, and her blood seeps through the cotton that makes the jeans, and then her spirit awakes in the jeans, and then she kills people, which is her revenge. I think it's great to see that, to see this young, because at the beginning, of course, we don't know who exactly this Indian girl is and what, exactly who the genes are. But when you really understand what's going on, how the genes came to be possessed, then you're like, oh, this is good. This is really good. Yeah. This is the revenge that we've all wanted to see, So,
man. Yeah, there's a lot. I really like the commentary on the unethical business practices, but also the corporate doublespeak of like using buzzwords and like even like the whole my ecosystem, instead of like your section and all that. Like
when we first had the read through with all the main characters and the actors were there and our director was there, and the director wrote the film. So it's the same woman. And so she was there with the script. We all had our scripts and we read it. And just every 10 seconds we're going, I can't believe I'm seeing this. This is ridiculous. But then when you think about it, yeah, because they're so closed off and it's become so important, but it's really not. It's just a section of clothes, but it's really weird. And so we were really laughing about it, but then slowly the laughter disappeared and it was more like what are we doing here? What is this? Because it's a real thing. People become really invested in things that don't really matter, but
and business is creating like a cult-like atmosphere. Like I remember Mr. Green once worked a job where everybody had to wear team wear and go to the team meeting, and it was all about the team. You remember those days, Green?
Yeah. Thanks for bringing that back.
All about the team, but the company doesn't care at all if you're sick or if you have trouble in your life or whatever. It's all about the company. But when you have a problem, they're not going to be there for you. They don't care ultimately.
No.
They care about the fact that you adhere to what they're saying and that you're ready to give your all, even though we know that the big guys aren't here for us as we are for them. So
no, that's very true. And I was gonna say, like, have you ever had a job at a clothing store like maybe not like this, obviously, because you're here, so you didn't get killed, by a pair of pants or anything, but or a cult-like mentality. Have you ever worked at a place like that?
I've never worked in a place like that. I've been fortunate enough. I started very young. I started when I was 10 years old. I became an actress, and
Oh, okay.
I've never really had to. I went to school and stuff, but I never really
Sure.
had to have that kind of job, you know, a low wage job that you first start like 15 and you're so naive about everything and you want to do well and you want to prove yourself and you want to prove that you're worthy of it because it's your first job and you're so excited, and they take advantage of that, but that's another subject. And then, but no, I've never had that kind of job, but I've shopped. And every time that you shop in, it's always like a particular kind of stores, like Forever 21 or like the fast fashion stores. It's very weird. It's an atmosphere that's almost like, I don't know. It's the Twilight Zone. For me, it's weird because it's not like that human relation that you have. Everything is sort of very plastic, very, I don't know how to say it properly, but it's kind of always a little bit off.
Yeah.
And it feels weird. It doesn't feel real, you know?
No, when you go into a place like that and then you hear that speech, those speech patterns, those things, those words that they like to use because that's what they're told to use and encouraged to use. And when they talk to you, you're like, are you a robot? Like, is that is that mannequin over there more real than you are? Because like
it's English, but not human words. Yeah.
No.
There's a scene in the movie that was ultimately cut because it didn't work. But we had it was a very, very long shot. It was like when you're not cutting in it, it was just like one shot, then the camera was following me and I was walking through and there was this elaborate choreography, and then eventually it didn't make it in the movie because it didn't work for a number of reasons. But we spent an entire day doing this scene, and I opened the doors and it's my first day, and then the camera kind of becomes me, and then I come face to face with this girl who's like, hi, welcome to the CCC. And it's so weird. And it's so and I was doing it, and the girl who was doing it was really, really nice. But then she would take on this sort of robot face with this voice that's just like, hi, I'm not very human right now because I get paid. So I get paid to be nice to you, but I don't care. And the lifeless look in her eyes, and it was creepy. It was really creepy. And she actually had experience working in retail, and she was like, you have no idea how happy I am that I can finally do this on screen and show people just how weird it is what we have to do.
Yeah, totally.
So it was a very creepy scene that eventually didn't make it in the movie, but I was kind of sad because it was a really good scene.
Yeah.
And it was very creepy.
No, well, that sounds even scarier than a pair of pants, and the pair of pants are pretty scary in this film. We got some emails in, one from Ben J, who says, hey, geeks, I missed the earlier interview with Dante Bosco. Will the interview be posted somewhere online? Thanks. Yes, Ben, the episode you're listening to right now, its entirety, will be available as a podcast Monday after 2 p.m. Eastern on realityradio101.com and wherever you catch your podcasts. We also got an email in from Carl S. that says, I love the slut. What an actress. Love her. Peace, geeks. Okay, for the listeners, why did you explain why they just said that? Because otherwise it seems like a very derogatory thing. But
okay.
Yeah, but it's a previous role, correct?
Okay. Okay, at first I was like, what? And then I understood, and I was, oh, that's right. I did 2 movies in with the titles had slut in it. Let me explain. Those are not X-rated movies. This is not some weird part of the show that no. I did a movie. The first movie that I ever did with a lead role was in French. Here we called it Charlotte It's Fun, which means Charlotte has fun, literally. But it was supposed to be called in French salope dans le bon sens du terme, which means slut in a good way. And when the movie came out in the US, because eventually here, the distributors didn't really agree. They didn't want to put salope or slut in the title. They were afraid. They were, let's not do it. Let's keep it PG. But when it came out in the US, they said, you know what? We want that kind of movie. We want something that has a title that makes people go, what? What do you mean slut in a good way? That's weird. How? But the movie's it's a feminist movie, but it's also a movie. There's no adults in the movie, so it's very about it's a lot about young people who come to terms with, does sleeping with a lot of people make me a slut? And that's the whole question of the thing. But of course, when I say that I was in a movie called Slut in a Good Way, I have to explain. I can't just say that and then leave. It's the same when I say I was in a movie about killer pants. I can't just say that. I have to explain. You know? And I was in another movie called Les salopes ou le sucre naturel de la peau, which means the sluts or the natural sugar of the skin. It sounds horrible in English, but in French it has a nice ring to it. But it's about female sexuality, but it's not a porn movie, so don't worry. So I don't take it in the wrong way when people are like, "Ooh, slut." I'm just like, what is my life? Yes, I can respond. This is great. But yeah, so I don't take it in a negative way.
Oh my God. Yeah. Like that's the thing. If I hadn't known about those films, I would have just not read the email. But I was like, no, she can explain this so I can read it. You know?
But the first time that we actually had to say it, or that someone came to me and said like, oh, I saw slut in a good way, or like a journalist was like, oh, so like, what do you mean by you're being a slut? I was just like, oh, this feels weird. This feels wrong.
Yeah.
And then you become used to it and just like, let's talk about it. Let's have a great conversation about it. But yeah.
Oh my God. Well, Romane, it's been great talking with you.
Well, thank you for having me.
Well, thank you for coming on. I really enjoyed the film. It was a lot of fun.
Oh yeah.
And
a lot of fun making it.
With those, with all the fluorescent lighting and everything, it had kind of almost like an 80s energy to it, which really enjoyed. So has the film come out in theaters yet, or is there a?
Yes, but it did come out when everything was shut down here, at least. So the timing wasn't very good, but it did come out on Shudder.
Oh, on Shudder.
A week or 2 weeks ago, something like that. So yeah, we're really excited about it.
Well, that's a fantastic platform. Yeah,
it is. It's really exciting for me.
Yeah, perfect.
I was never like a huge fan of horror movies, but now I get the feeling that this community is a lot of fun.
Yeah. No, definitely. Well, people definitely go on Shudder and check out Slaxx. It is a very fun movie, and like as Romane mentioned, it's got a really good message about basically consumerism and unethical practices of businesses. It's a smart film that's also
it's a movie made by women.
Yeah,
the producers are women, the writers are women, the directors are women. So
yeah, it's fantastic. Definitely check it out. Thank you so much for coming on the program.
Hope
you have a great night.
You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.